I don't even know what to say. I don't. I really don't know what to say. My God. My God. I'm feeling everything right now. I am so sad. Heartbroken. I'm mad. I'm everything right now. I just am. That was a winnable game. It was so winnable. It was. Just certain plays throughout the game were, and there were many instances. This is not going to be, I know the refs were involved. I clearly know the refs were involved. They were. I'm not going to blame this entire thing on the refs. I am not going to do that. Because there were plays throughout the game where the Eagles definitely did stab themselves in the foot. You know, the fumble recovery touchdown for Kansas City. Wasting a timeout on a possible delay of game. What else? Other plays. The Quez Watkins missed catch. He should have caught that ball. There are many plays throughout this game. Many plays. I just don't know what to think right now. I'm just in all the emotions. Every single one. It was so winnable, man. That game was so winnable. Jalen Hurts played absolutely fantastic in this game. He played his goddamn ass off. He was amazing. Probably you can even say it's one of the best games of his entire career. He put it all on the line for this one. Yeah, he had the fumble. Okay. Not blaming that entirely on him. Yeah, he made a mistake. But what did the coaching staff and Shane Steichen do? They allowed Jalen Hurts to go right back out there and right his wrong. And what did he do? He went down and scored a touchdown right after the fumble recovery. Jalen Hurts made up for his mistake. He balled out. He was absolutely fantastic. He deserved this one. He deserved to win this game. But you know what? What let him down? The coaching in the second half. Your defense was so abysmal today. Absolutely goddamn atrocious. You got picked apart. Badly. A lot of guys on the defensive side got exposed. Jonathan Gannon, certain play calls, there's so many guys wide open left and right, wide open, Juju's wide open, other people are wide open, easy touchdowns to just walk on in, uncontested, Darius Slay is getting beaten, you're putting a blitz on the goal line, which leaves two guys wide open for a touchdown score. What happened from the first half in the second? The Chiefs coaching staff, Andy Reid and all of them, they adjusted. They adjusted offensively. What did we do? Because what happened offensively, we were fine. Even though we did make some mistakes here and there, we still made it a score till the very end. Until that bullshit holding on James Bradbury. If you're watching this from a pure, no fan relation, entertainment standpoint, this was a fantastic Super Bowl. Back and forth action, constant touchdowns left and right. Offensive juggernaut, basically. And for it to end on that asinine bullshit call on James Bradbury, who was against Juju, on 3rd and 8, where he barely touches him. You're going to call that in the biggest game of the season, with how much was left on the clock anyway, like a minute 50? That was like right after the 2-minute warning. You're going to call that. In the biggest game of the year, you were going to call that. And that ended the game. Chiefs were able to waste the clock. Eagles didn't have any timeouts left. It would have been nice to have 3 timeouts in that scenario. It would have. So many things. Majority of things that went right for you in the first half, even though the fumble recovery didn't go right for you. most things went right for you in the first half. The game was winnable, even though there were some things in that first half that I do also want to talk about as well. The Devontae Smith play at the end of the half. How is that not a catch? How is that not a catch? Because if I'm looking at that side by side with the Dallas Goedert play later in the game, how do you look at those two side by side and one's not a catch and one's a catch? I don't understand that. I don't know what a catch is anymore. No NFL fan knows what a catch is, because apparently the refs don't. And this is where I'm going to start complaining about the refs. Like I said, this entire game's not on the refs. I'm going to state that right here. This entire game, it's not on the refs. They had a factor. There was ref ball involved. It was not the entire reason why the Eagles lost this game. It's not. Jonathan Gannon in the defense was absolutely atrocious. The secondary was bad. Avonte Maddox, Epps, TJ Edwards, they all had terrible games. Darius Slay getting beaten way too easily. So many guys wide open in that second half. They couldn't even pressure Mahomes in the second half whatsoever. Just guys left wide open left and right. They couldn't stop anyone in the run game. Anyone. It feels like in the first half, it was just it was not Jason Kelce, it was Travis Kelce doing all the work. But then once you get into the second half, they adjusted and guys were getting open. So that is a horrible job on Gannon's perspective. And my God, take the Arizona job. Take the Arizona job. Because my God. I'm just thinking about it and making my blood boil. It just is. Just thinking about this, talking about it right now. Like, as the game ended, I was just sad. I was crying because that was just the way to end the game like that. The way Jalen Hurts balled out today. Everything. And that's how the game ended. And that's how you lose the Super Bowl. Couldn't get one stop. Couldn't in that second half. Patrick Mahomes ran all over you. And you managed to re-injure the ankle. But, they probably put enough painkillers in his ankle to take down an elephant. So that, wasn't going to be a factor. You just let Pat Mahomes run all over you. Do everything possible. Couldn't stop him. Couldn't stop him. And then when you had a chance to stop him on 3rd and 8, the ref took over. It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Just certain play calls, too. As, I won't even say play calls. Just certain plays throughout the game that just also just could have changed everything. That, with the fumble recovery touchdown a couple of plays before, if Kenneth Gainwell doesn't slip, and also speaking about the field was absolutely dreadful today. People were slipping all over the place. How do you have this many weeks to prepare for a Super Bowl and the field is that bad? That bad of a surface where both teams are just slipping all over the place. I don't get it. Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell, I believe it was it was 2nd down. Became 2nd and 1 because he slipped on the field, which probably would have easily gotten him a 1st down. And we won't have to probably deal about the situation that was going to lead into that process. On 3rd and 1, the Eagles decided to go, I believe, for a quarterback sneak. And then Isaac Seumalo is caught offsides because you see every Chiefs player literally pointing to the refs to try to get the call to happen, and it did. So you get the offside play, and it becomes, I believe, 3rd and 6. Snap the ball. Jalen's trying to run out of the pocket. He tries to switch the ball in between hands, and he drops it, and the Chiefs return it for a touchdown. So the Kenneth Gainwell, if he doesn't slip in that situation, maybe the fumble recovery touchdown doesn't happen. Because honestly, like I said, self-inflicted wounds, even though I wouldn't say that's Kenneth Gainwell's fault, he slipped on the turf. That's the poor field for that situation. But it's just a matter of fact that there are so many things that just completely change swings in the game. Because honestly, you could have been up by 2 touchdowns at the half. One, if you didn't have that fumble recovery touchdown happen, the fumble didn't happen, or the delay of game, the offsides, and then the Kenneth Gainwell slip. And then also at the end of the half, you probably could have had another touchdown if the Devontae Smith play was actually called a catch on the field, but for some reason they thought they had enough information to overturn it. I still don't understand when you're looking at that side by side with Dallas Goedert's play. I don't understand how one's a catch and one's not. I just don't. I personally don't understand that. I'm sorry. I don't understand. And then you're going downfield, I believe. Kenneth Gainwell, third quarter, should be making that catch right near the goal line. He had him beat too. It was a great throw. Jalen was throwing dimes all over the place today. Had some fantastic throws to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had a fantastic game. Dallas Goedert had a fantastic game. Devontae Smith had a fantastic game. The running game was definitely weak, though. It definitely was not a factor like it was in the previous weeks. And yeah, you got to give credit to the Chiefs on that standpoint. They shut it down. They definitely shut it down in that aspect. If you look at the Eagles rushing as a whole, they rushed for 115 yards, but Jalen Hurts was the majority of that. Miles Sanders didn't have a good game at all. And there was a situation where he made a catch and then that almost got called for a fumble recovery touchdown, but it was obvious it was an incomplete pass because he wasn't able to get, full footing there. Boston Scott wasn't effective. Kenneth Gainwell definitely had a better day than Miles Sanders, but wasn't as effective as in previous games. Devontae Smith, he had 7 receptions for 100 yards. 2 45-yard bombs to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown in this game. A.J. Brown was spectacular. 6 receptions for 96 yards. Had a touchdown. Beautiful touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts and a beautiful catch from him. Dallas Goedert had a fantastic game. 6 receptions for 60 yards. But then there's so many other situations where I believe it was it was either one of your early drives in the game. It was a Zach Pascal offensive pass interference. Or holding, actually, which took away basically your play and it forced you to 3 and out, I believe. So that was something that stabbed you in the foot. And then just, there was a situation, I believe, I'm not sure which play it was. Was it the Devontae Smith play where... Yeah, it was the Devontae Smith play where he makes the catch. The Eagles then snap the ball, and then they throw a flag on the field, and we don't even know what the penalty is, but then the refs announced they didn't give the Chiefs enough time to prepare for the next play, and then it literally gives the Chiefs 50 minutes to look at the replay, and then they're allowed to throw the challenge flag. I have no idea how that works. The Eagles snapped the ball. They shouldn't be allowed to throw a challenge flag. That should be... It shouldn't be even questionable at that point. You shouldn't be allowed to throw a challenge flag, but the refs allowed them to do it. Now I understand, it's the biggest game of the year. You want to try to get every single thing right. But ref ball, man. Roger Goodell thinks the refs aren't an issue. Well, he really has to look back at it because there were so many insiders, in Rappaport, everyone else retweeting that, tweet or that quote by Roger Goodell. Unbelievable, man. And I'm not blaming it sounds like I'm blaming the refs, but there's just so many things that the Eagles also did as well. Specifically, like I said, when you burn that one timeout when you probably should have taken the delay of game, and then maybe you should have went for it on 4th down instead of kicking the field goal. It's just you got outcoached in that second half. Bottom line, you got outcoached. Regardless of how bad the refs were, you got outcoached. You weren't able to make a stop. You weren't able to make one stop. Now, credit to your offense and Jalen Hurts for making this game competitive in the second half. All your defense needed to make was one stop. One stop. And you couldn't even do that. You could not even do that. And then the game ends on that Bradbury play. Every time I think about that Bradbury call, it pisses me off even more. When I think about the Bradbury play, when I think about the Devontae Smith play, everything, it just boils my blood on how atrocious it is. How bad it is, man. It just is. If you look at the other side for the Chiefs, yeah, Patrick Mahomes had a good passing day. He ran a lot as well. 6 carries for 44 yards. Pacheco, Eagles couldn't stop him whatsoever. 15 carries, 76 yards. McKinnon as well, he had 34 yards on the day. Patrick Mahomes throwing 21 of 27, 182 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes had a good game throwing. The Eagles couldn't stop him. They couldn't get to him at all. Look at their receiving. Travis Kelce, 6 receptions for 81 yards. Juju Smith had 7 receptions for 53 yards. Who else? McKinnon, Gray, Tony had a touchdown. Moore had a touchdown. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Jalen Hurts, though. Jalen Hurts deserved to win this game. He deserved it. Everywhere, he deserved to win this game. He balled out. He put everything on the line. Yeah, he had the fumble, but he made up for it on the very next drive with the touchdown run. The dude broke a Super Bowl record for most rushing yards and rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a game. He made history tonight, and he still was not able to get the win because his defense couldn't make a stop, because Jonathan Gannon couldn't adjust, because his coaching staff made some mistakes. And yeah, they're showing their signs of a young coaching staff and experience in that situation. We all thought that Andy Reid was prone to making mistakes. He threw the challenge on the Dallas Goedert. No, actually, I believe that challenge was actually on the Dallas Goedert play. It was on the Dallas Goedert play, not the Devontae Smith play. I feel like the Devontae Smith one, they tried to review it before the ball was snapped, so I got that mixed up. Look, so many things happened during this game that just annoy me. It's unbelievable. It really is. Just is. Look at Jalen Hurts, man. He was fantastic. He was fantastic in this game. If I just look at everything. 27 out of 38 for Jalen Hurts. 374 total yards. I believe that is combined with the ground and the passing. He had 304 yards passing. Throws so many dimes today. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. 3. Jalen Hurts was unbelievable. He was amazing. He put his body on the line. He put everything out there. He deserved to win MVP in this game. But your defense couldn't do anything. The line was just non-existent. They couldn't get any pressure. And when they did get pressure, Mahomes threw the ball instantly. And there was a guy wide open. I don't know, man. I'm just every emotion right now. And yeah, congrats to the Chiefs. Like, you outplayed us in the second half. I'm not going to be a San Francisco 49ers fan and just complain everything. Or just like say, and just be flat out. Like, I'll admit when we made mistakes. Apparently the 49ers can't. We got outplayed in the second half. Regardless of the ref ball and everything that was happening there, we made mistakes. Our defense just couldn't get a stop. Our offense did everything it possibly could. Just unbelievable, man. And I thought we were going to do it. I was so confident. And we shouldn't feel bad for being confident. We had every right to be confident in this team. Heartbreak. That's what it is. It's heartbreak. That game was so winnable. It was winnable. Just one too many mistakes. It reminds me of the game against Dallas on Christmas Eve. All those fumbles that you made allowed Dallas to stay in the game, where you could have easily won that. This is one of those other situations. All your defense needed to do was make a stop. All your defense needed to do. And Jonathan Gannon couldn't do that. And now Shane Steichen, he's going to be going next year. He's going to be the Indianapolis Colts head coach. Jonathan Gannon looks like he's the favorite for the Arizona Cardinals job. So you're going to have to do some work next year with the coordinators. But I know the Eagles quarterback coach, most likely he'll be in line to be the next offensive coordinator. So that is something that's going to most likely be a thing, I would expect. Yeah, Brian Johnson most likely will be the next offensive coordinator of this team. So you're going to have to do some work this offseason. You got contracts. You got guys that could be on the brink of retirement. But the game was just winnable. It was. It really was. I'm just heartbroken. Like you see Jason Kelce during the Super Bowl celebration trying to wave to his parents on the sideline. Jalen Hurts, man. He balled out. Jalen Hurts, in my honest opinion, was better than Mahomes in this game. Mahomes was good, but Jalen Hurts was just better. And sadly, his defense just couldn't win it for him. And this is not to say that, Eagles, they still have the best defense in the league. They just got outplayed. They got completely outplayed. The D-line was non-existent. I feel like the offensive line kept up their own. They definitely did. There were really barely any sacks today at all. I see your question, Jose. No, Sirianni's not getting fired. There's no reason why he would. Sirianni was amazing this year, but this game showcased the inexperience of this coaching staff. Just feels like a wasted opportunity. It does. Even though I do believe this team is going to be good for the long run. And I do think they'll get the job done. Eventually. I don't know when that is. Maybe they come back next year. But you got to do a lot of work. You got a lot of free agents to look over. Guys that are retiring. Looking at the coordinators. That's going to be a big job for, Sirianni, Roseman, and all that stuff. This upcoming draft. Gotta make... Just in my feels, man. That's all. Just don't know what to think. It really stings. It just does. Just thinking about all this stuff. But we're going to get the job done. The Union lose their championship. The penalty kicks, of course. The Union and the Phillies lose the World Series on the same day. The Phillies stung. It did. But at the end of the day, we knew the Phillies weren't up to par with the Astros. But I thought overall as a roster, this Eagles team was better than the Chiefs. But sometimes the better team doesn't always win. Sometimes the better team got outcoached. And we all knew coming into this game that the Chiefs coaching staff was definitely better than the Eagles. And that showed it today. That showed up in that second half. The inexperience of Sirianni, Gannon, Steichen, it showed up. This is going to sting for a while. Because this was really winnable. This was an expectation with the way we played this year. It's going to hurt for a while. It is. It's going to hurt. It feels like a missed opportunity. It just does. The way the game ended on that holding call was complete ass. It was complete BS. And like I said, the entire game, I am not blaming it on the refs. We made mistakes. We stabbed ourselves in the foot on a couple of plays. And it cost us. It cost us. That fumble recovery touchdown, it cost us. That delay of game, or using that first timeout in the second half to prevent the delay of game, it cost us. Maybe Sirianni should have went on the 4th and 6th instead of kicking the field goal. Just when I was thinking, during the game, you get that first drive, Jalen Hurts gets the score. They miss a field goal. Jalen Hurts doesn't deserve this. He just doesn't. The dude balled out. He's going to get paid deservedly so. He is. It just sucks. It really does. It's going to take a while for the city to recover from it. Especially with losing 3 championships in 1 year. In a span of 6 months. October with the Eagles in the Union. Not the with the Phillies in the Union. Like I said, the Phillies one stung. I wasn't expecting them to win that World Series. But this, I thought they were going to get the job done. And we shouldn't be mad at ourselves for being confident in this team. We had every right to be. Confident down till the very end. They made it a game. The offense, Jalen Hurts, they did everything possible. At least Andy Reid figured out how to manage the clock. Yeah, I guess he did. He figured out clock management. Eagles 35 points are the most by a losing team in Super Bowl history. James Bradbury, he says it right. He's saying it after the game. It was on the holding call. He says it. He says it was a hold. Him taking ownership to it. I respect it. It wasn't a hold though. It wasn't. Just I don't know, man. I just don't know what to say. I'm just gutted. I'm completely gutted. Had everything possible. Just this city, when they go to a bunch of championships, they lose every single one. Guess it's a Philly thing. But this team will learn from it. And I think they get back. I do. With the way Jalen Hurts played today, I am fully confident in his ability. I am fully confident in Jalen Hurts' ability, but right now, this is going to sting for a while. It just is. I know guys are saying here a few days until the Phillies, baseball's a long season. This is going to linger on for a while, this loss. It's going to linger on for a while. Just a long time. Because they had a chance. They had a huge chance to win this game. This game was easily winnable. It just was. It sucks. It does. It just does. Nothing more to say. Gannon, gone. I hope he's gone. I put my faith in him. He let us down. Our defense was just completely non-existent tonight. And now all the stuff talking about, oh, the Eagles defense is frauds and all that stuff, they got exposed. Yeah, the defense got exposed. Still doesn't mean they're the best defense in the league. Because they were. The Eagles were the best defense in the league. They got completely torched tonight. Both are true. Bottom line there. Offense kept up with Mahomes. I'm not sure if we heard from Hurts yet following the game. I know Sirianni's talking right now. Correct. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're not going to blame the refs. Like, Sirianni's not blaming the ref at all. Yeah, they're doing the right thing. TJ Edwards says Brandon Graham spoke to the team after the loss, telling how proud he was of them, encouraging them that life will move on after this and that they will get another opportunity. Edwards says that hearing a guy of that caliber says that in that moment really helped. What else? Mailata said that the field was terrible. He was sure to point it out was terrible for both teams. The Eagles and Chiefs players were talking with it during the team timeout and how bad it was. Says it like it was playing on a water park. Jason Kelce, plenty of mistakes to go around. He certainly had his own. Trying to see if we can get the Jalen Hurts. I doubt there's anything. And then there goes Patrick Mahomes' stupid-ass brother dancing again. It's probably one of the worst things about this loss. Get to see that idiot do his thing. Someone said that this kind of feels like the Joe Carter walk-off home run in '93, a gut punch. What else? Mahomes was 13 of 14 in the second half. Unbelievable. Fucking cannon. Not even sure why they're putting fireworks off outside. I've been hearing them since I've started this stream. LeBron James is even putting his LeBron James even put his two thoughts on the holding call. His hand on his back had no effect on the route. This game was too damn good for that call to dictate the outcome. Damn. Just, if I'm just looking at that play again, the ball by Mahomes was completely overthrown. It had no effect on the play whatsoever. I just don't understand. In that situation, you're calling the penalty. Like, I still just can't get that out of my mind. It's going to linger in our minds for a while, that specific call. I just don't get how you call that. Did he tug his jersey? Probably. Did it affect the route? No, it didn't. You just can't call that at the end of the game in the Super Bowl. You just can't call that at all. At all. Exactly, Sean. Incomplete pass stops the clock. But no. They call a bullshit hold, allows the clock to keep going, and then allowed to drain the clock down because the Eagles don't have their timeouts. They kick a game-winning field goal. Sadly, Hurts just didn't have the arm strength to do a Hail Mary. I'm sure the shoulder had some effect to that. Jalen just deserved better. Jalen just deserved way better. He did. He did. It's completely ridiculous. Let's see. Gannon's defense was wiped around the field all night, and the Eagles made too many mistakes. They would have had a chance to right those wrongs, but the referee took that opportunity away by making a call that otherwise they let go all night. Sirianni, the blitz, sure, those guys are thinking of everything, and I gotta trust them. Give Chiefs credit, they got the ball out quick. They did a good job knowing what our strengths was and doing it to their best to mitigate it. I really want to see if there's anything from Jalen Hurts. Yeah. Just don't get it, man. I'm just lost for words. We do have a voicemail here on the Anytime Hotline. It's from Sean. You can always leave a voicemail. If you do, leave it at 215-839-9885. We'll probably have another couple of streams this week just to get the after-day thoughts, even though, like I said, this is going to linger every single day for a while. But we'll have some streams maybe this week to think about things, talk about some more stuff with this game, instead of, like, a couple days after the thought of the game, thoughts on everything. This is definitely, like I said, pure, like, instantaneous reaction to the end of the game. All the emotions are let out and everything. But, so, if you want to leave a voicemail on the hotline for those future streams this week, definitely do that. Number is on the screen down below. You can leave a text message as well. Or if you just want to join the streams and utilize the YouTube live feed, that is also your choice as well. Like I said, I'm giving you options. Does not matter to me. Like I said, it is your preference at the end of the day. So, let's hear what Sean has to say about this. I'm sure Sean is as heartbroken as I am.
This one hurts, Amadeo. This one really hurts because, the positive side of me will say, hey, it was a good year. A lot of exciting things happened. You strung together all those wins, but right now I just consider it a wasted golden opportunity. A healthy roster for the most part, home field throughout the playoffs, and you didn't get it done. And the fact that you were leading by double digits at halftime makes it worse. Congratulations to the Chiefs. I mean, Andy Reid, whatever he and Spagnuolo came up with at halftime worked. They made the adjustments. The Eagles couldn't get stops. All the focus coming into this game was on the Eagles' O-line and D-line, and both units, for the most part, got their ass kicked. The Eagles didn't run the ball nearly as effectively as I would have wanted, and the defensive line did nothing. No sacks. Isaiah Pacheco ran through them like a hot knife through butter. They got to take it on the chin. In closing, I'm not going to turn into a San Francisco 49er fan, But that pass interference call on James Bradbury, I'm sorry, that was garbage. I mean, it's a Super Bowl game on the line. He barely touched Smith-Schuster, didn't influence the route at all, and they threw the flag. But congratulations to the Chiefs. Maybe the Eagles can learn from this. You know, I thought Jalen, other than the fumble, played well, but not well enough.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I agree with you, Sean, on that first part. I just can't be that person right now that said, oh, it was a fantastic season. Best record in the NFC, number one seed. I just can't do that right now. Like you said, it's a wasted opportunity. It just feels like it. You're leading at 10 by halftime. Your defense just can't get a stop. Just can't. And you gotta say credit to the Chiefs for what they did. Our defense got torched. Sucks. It sucks. It really does. It's gonna linger. And now this is just me and my feels right now. What I'm talking about. Probably gonna bring up next. I'm just tired of this city losing. Getting all these championship games. Losing. How come when we are the best team, we don't win? We only win when we're underdogs. I'm tired of the underdog mentality. I just am. I want to be the best. We were one of the best teams this year. Sadly, we lost it. Just didn't get the job done. I'm tired of this city losing. I want to see another championship. I'm tired. It's like I said, I'm just rambling at this point in my emotions. Don't take anything seriously. I'm just tired of seeing like all these other cities like win multiple championships in 1 year. Like when you see the Buccaneers win, the Tampa Bay Lightning win so many times, all the Los Angeles teams winning at once. Like all these random ass cities that win multiple championships in 1 year. Wins are due. Are the sports gods just like dangling things just to torture us? I'm tired of it at this point. Are the Sixers going to somehow end up in the goddamn finals and break our hearts too? Is that just what this year is going to be? Is it going to be 1980 all over again, where every single team in the city makes the championship and only one of them wins? But now, what, team could that be left? Phillies lost their championship. This Union lost theirs. Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Sixers, I don't know. They still haven't got past the second round yet. I can't guarantee anything with that. And the Flyers, they're the Flyers. There's no guarantee with them at all. Unbelievable. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. Probably not. Probably not going to be able to sleep. Just don't get it, man. It sucks. I hate this feeling. I hate being in this feeling so many times this year. Yeah, maybe the Flyers make it in and somehow win. I'll believe it when I see it with that team. Ugh. Watched them earlier today against the Kraken. They got completely torched. Yeah, I've said this many times. I believe this Eagles team, even though they're going to have to make a lot of decisions this offseason. They got high draft picks. Thank you, Saints. They got some decisions to make with the coaching staff, coordinators, and all that stuff. Free agents and guys that are just considering retiring. But you got Jalen Hurts. What I saw from Jalen Hurts today, it showcases to me, in my honest opinion, he's made for the moment. He thrives in the moment. Because what he did today, besides the fumble, was just fantastic. It was amazing what he did. It was great. Some of the runs that he did, the throws that he made, like his throwing was absolutely perfect today. The throws that he made to A.J. Brown, that long pass, that 5-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Brown, that pass to Devontae Smith to get them into a chance to tie the game. The runs that he made, the QB sneaks that he constantly does in this team, what has been so successful with them this year, the QB sneaks. To get the 2-point conversion. All these plays for Jalen Hurts to keep this team within the game. And to keep it within reach. It shows to me that he is made for the moment. He is. And Jonathan Gannon ruined it. The defense was just completely invisible the entire game. Avonte Maddox was bad. The whole defensive front was not able to get any type of pressure on Patrick Mahomes. And when they tried to, gets the ball out quickly or he runs away. And that's what Patrick Mahomes does. That's why he's one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league. And also that one punt return, I completely forgot. Like everything that I've been talking about, that completely slipped my mind. Special teams, we've been talking about basically the entire regular year. It didn't make a factor in the first 2 playoff games, even though that one situation where it hit the tightrope in the championship game and all that crap. But special teams, that one instance on the punt return, came back to bite you in the ass. So, Michael Clay, get your ass out of here. Get someone in here that can actually, do something. And yeah, Sean, you're right. Get a damn punter that can punt more than 30 yards. I know Sipos was coming back off injury, but come on, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just that game, man, was just winnable. Here we go. Here's a stat right here from Next Gen Stats. Patrick Mahomes was pressured on 25.9% of his dropbacks in Super Bowl 57. This is the first game since Week 12 where the Eagles did not record pressure rate over 34%, snapping their NGS error record of 8 straight games. So Gannon just stopped pressuring. Gannon just didn't adjust. Did not adjust at all. Kelce spoke about the future and sounded like a guy who was looking forward to returning. Wouldn't commit just yet, though. We'll see. There's a lot of factors to play. Said he hopes to have a decision soon. So we'll probably won't be hearing anything about a retirement or returning next year for Jason Kelce yet. So that's definitely something we got to look at in the upcoming future. But, Isaac Seumalo's gone. Most likely touching the free agent market. But, like I said, that's another conversation for another day. It's unbelievable, man. It just is. Yeah, the Chiefs' offensive line dominated today. Eagles were just not able to stop guys like Pacheco or anything like that or get the Mahomes. I think the Eagles' O-line did their job too. It's just the fact that our defense couldn't do the job. One half of the trenches, they weren't able to beat the battle of the trenches in the other half on the defensive side. They won the trenches on the offensive side, not the defensive side. All the QB sneaks that we were getting successful and everything. Offensive line did their job, I think. But defensively, just complete garbage. Yeah, the same amount, yeah. Offensive line was good. Like you said, Sean, at the end of your call. Not good enough. Not good enough. Too many mistakes, man. Too many mistakes. It just sucks. Completely does. And it's going to take this city a long time to recover from it. A long time. But we'll be back here. We will. But it's going to take a little bit to recover from this. So, I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I don't know how anyone's going to sleep tonight. I'm going to cry my eyes out. Most likely again. But, it sucks. So, I'm going to end it off here, everyone. I thank you, everyone here, for joining the stream, as always, and showing your love and support. I appreciate that, as always. So, we're going to have probably more streams this week, just talking about, a couple days post-reaction to this game. So, definitely stay tuned for that. Do not forget to leave comments in the comment section down below. I like to see this as always. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. I recommend all that stuff. Same thing with hitting that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Join the TTP Sports family. Definitely, I recommend it. It will do me a great service. Also, use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Use it for anything you can think of. It's a great deal. Do not pass up on that. And once again, everyone, thank you for joining tonight's stream. It sucks. It really does. And I don't know how we'll recover from this. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And hopefully we can find it. Tonight's going to sting forever. But without that, everyone, hopefully you all have a good night. And I'll see you next time.